सम्यक् समाधिनिरतैर्विमलान्तरङ्गे साक्षादवेक्ष्य निजतत्त्वमपारसौख्यम् सन्तुष्यते परमहंसकुलैरजस्रम् यद्ब्रह्म तत्त्वमसि केवलबोधमात्रम्।
ॐ नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यः। हरिः ॐ। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वर्षिष्ठान्तेव सदृशिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रम् आनन्दरूपं स्वात्मारामम् उदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिम् ईडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। अरुणाचलकरुणामयगिरिरूपकगुरुणां हृदि बोधितम् अधुना मम मृतिनाशकवयुना वटुना वटतटवासकमुनिनायकविपुनां रमणाभितमहसा मम फलितं जनिः अधुना। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयम्। As the Nitya Satsanga during Chaturmasya Kala, now we are on the conclusion phase of Shankara Bhagavad-pada's life and teachings. Now we are having the portion of pure teachings. There are, as we saw, so many books written by Sankaracharya and also in the name of Sankaracharya. But essentially they are all either teaching bhakti or teaching jnanam, and rarely some tantric works are there. Yoga works are also there, ascribed to Sankaracharya. As far as we have come in that Advaita Parampara, whether it is Sankaracharya or Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, it all belongs to the same tradition. Bhagavan has very clearly said, ஆன்மாவின் போதமருள் ஆசானாம் சங்கரன் அவ்வான்மாவுக்கு அந்நியன் ஆவனோ என்னகத்தே இருந்து இன்று தமிழ் சொல்வானும் அன்னவனன்றி மற்ற யாருடன். Very clearly Bhagavan declares that Shankara, who is non-different from the self, Atma, the same Shankara is speaking through me, the same teaching in Tamil. At Shankaran Tunjumen Ulle, the same Shankara is shining in my heart. So more than 2 or 3 places Bhagavan has mentioned this. So the teaching is all same. The only thing that Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi did is perhaps he trimmed the frills, like the dialectics, polemics, what they call as very, very scholarly discussions, directly to the point, indicating the knowledge of the self, inquiry into the self. So there Bhagavan was very specific, Bhagavan was very focused. There is a new tradition, a trend, which is being very much criticized all over the world now. They call it as Neo Vedanta. What does it mean? It means Vedanta without the qualifications, the prerequisites. Vedanta without discrimination, dispassion, Shraddha, Viveka, Vairagya, Shraddha, Uparati, without all these qualifications, many claim they are realized and no scriptural authority is needed. Whatever you want to say, you can say. And such a trend is there, especially based on Tiruvannamalai. So sometimes when we go to north like Rishikesh, we hear this criticism many places, especially from the traditional circle. People are doing this criticism. But that has nothing to do with Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. People use Bhagavan's name like that, but Bhagavan is the supreme master of Advaita with all prerequisites, with all qualifications. As Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni says, Yati dharma tatim paripalayata paritashatamo vinivarayata Yatinam adhipena kushagralasan matina dhritina shita chitta bhuva. Very powerful way of describing Bhagavan, where he says, Yati dharma tatim paripalayata. One who obeyed every bit of sannyasa dharma, the dharma of a sannyasi. Whatever dharma is prescribed for sannyasi, even traditional sannyasis can only mock them, just imitate them, not do it for the letter completely. But in Bhagavan's life, it was absolute, perfect. So, yati dharma tatim paripalayata, only that kaupina dhari, not touching money, not owning anything, not even putting signature, absolute purity in life and highest teaching. So, yati dharma tatim paripalayata, and by his mere presence, paritasya tamo vinivarayata. By his mere presence, that very presence is a light which removes all the darkness around. Yatinam adhipena, he is the supreme emperor, king of yatis. Yati means sannyasi, monks, renunciates, the supreme renunciate. Yatinam adhipena kushagralasan matina. And the intellect is like the kushagras, so sharp, so one-pointed, so focused. Nothing other than knowledge of the self is there. Nothing exists other than that. Kushagralasan matina dhritina, with immense will, born of sakshatkara. Jita chitta bhuva, his mind is absolutely absorbed in the self. Yatinam adipena kushagralasan matina dhritina chita chitta bhuva laharim pramadasya sada bhata nihatantara shatrapasama. That much is enough. So, that supreme teacher who was an incarnation of Dakshinamurti, by his mauna itself emanating the knowledge of the self. So Bhagavan Sankaracharya, Dakshinamurti, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, the teaching is all same. Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. By Maunam, Bhagavan's Maunam is not simply keeping the mouth shut. It is absolute knowledge. The power of that Maunam could transmit the teaching without words. That was the secret of that power. You can just imitate, act, but it is not possible. The Chit Shakti, that current, Kunju Swami used to say, it is like, you light a fragrant agarbatti and the fragrance is around. Like that, the knowledge of the self wafts around him. The dhara, the current will be there. You have to just touch, you will be initiated. Many have written about it in very mystical language. You can cut that silence with a knife. It is so solid, palpable. So that kind of Mauna Shakti, that is Bhagavan's power. And the same Maunam, same power of knowledge, same Samadhi. See, that Samadhi is the mark of a realized person. Nirvikalpaka Samadhina sputam brahma tattvam avagamyate dhruvam nanyatha chalataya manogatehe pratyayantara vimishritam bhavet. See, if you have studied the scriptures, only a scholar can make it out. But the state of Samadhi, anyone can make, anyone can feel it. That is how even common people understood Bhagavan. That is how a saint or sage is being smelled by a mature person, intuitively recognized by the power of Samadhi. So Samadhi is not the yogic trance. It is the state where there is nirvasana maunam. No ignorance is there, no vasana is there, and the mind is quietly reposing in the self. So that jnana samadhi, that is the secret of a Brahmavid, a knower of the self. So, this everyone can attain. See, this is when you feel the need for that knowledge, that awareness, then you listen to this teaching. That is why Bhagavan was concerned only with that. When devotees used to ask, Bhagavan, we want to ask some doubt, Bhagavan's usual answer is, find out the doubter. Who is having this doubt? Who is this I who is doubting? Doubt the doubter. Enquire, go deep into the doubter I. What is this I? Search, probe within to seek the source of this I thought. Then you will find that the I thought or the Jiva Bhava is not real. Simply, you need not make a statement, it is not real. You just inquire and find that the I thought is not real. And what exists there is pure Chaitanya, Shanti, peace, consciousness. So that is Brahma. That is Brahman. That is the infinite reality. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavam Brahma. So, this is the essence of the teaching. Now we come to the question answer. Disciple is asking the master, what is the nature of the self-experience? And are the thoughts needed for that? Acharya says, ignorance is the source of all thoughts. Yesterday we spoke about this. Ignorance is the source of all thoughts. Patanjali Yoga Sutra directly gives the answer. What is yoga? Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is cessation of thoughts, or you make the thoughts cease, quietening the thoughts, stilling the mind. You can directly do that by Raja Yoga. Sometimes you just tell yourself, oh mind, keep quiet, chup raho, shumair. You tell your mind, keep quiet, be still. Sometimes the mind might obey you, but not always. It might keep quiet for some time still. Then you will feel the profound peace of that stillness. But that is directly inquiring. Chittavritti Nirodha. Or so many chittavrittis are there and the mind is scattered. So you hold on to one chittavritti, Ālambana chittavritti. And generally what is done is you hold on to some vibrant bhava chittavritti, which we call mantra. This bhava chittavritti is being held like Panchakshara or Ashtakshari or Omkara, Pranava. Something is held within, throbbing inside. So no other thoughts survive. That throb, that mantra alone is held within. This is Ālambana Upasana. It is called Ālambana Ashraya Upasana, which is needed for the majority of people. Mostly spiritual life is based on that. Not only in Hinduism, in Sikhism it is fully japa only. And you can see this japa in Islam also, in Christianity also, in Buddhism also. Everywhere they find this is an easy method, a simple method to keep the mind peaceful. And this mantra japa, that is also pure grace, when asked about mantra japa, Bhagavan will say, the mantra that is already happening within you, ajapa japa, you need not do japa, the inner being is doing japa inside as aham, aham, I. That is the primordial throb. From time immemorial, from always that throb is there. That spandana is there. That adi spandana. And that spandana is the spandana, the chit shakti, the spurti inside the heart as aham, aham, I. See, when I say I, it is not I. Because in English we say I, Tamil we say nan. No connection at all, pronunciation. Sanskritam we say aham, Hindi we say me, no connection. So, what does it indicate? The sound is indicating something which is within you. The Shabda is indicating, calling forth something within you, which is only a spandana, a throb. So, to catch hold of that original throb, you take hold of a throb, any mantra. But the mantra should be, Bhagavan has said the mantra should be initiated. That is mysticism, pure mysticism. Because generally when people ask, can we take any mantra? Okay, you do japa of some nama, we say. It's not mantra, nama. But mantra means something which directly comes from the source. It is called mantra. Then it becomes alive. It is alive. It is the dance of consciousness actually. So it is not made of thought. It is not made of, it is not a created sound. So when such initiation happens, see, Bhagavan had that mantra japa. Bhagavan has said that even before I heard Arunachala, that was throbbing within me. Perhaps that was not Arunachala, but he identified it as Arunachala. When some person came to his home and he asked, where are you coming from? He said, Arunachalam. He identified with it, that throb. And that was the moment of initiation. Actually, that was the moment of initiation. Peyar ninaithidave pidittu iluttanai. Bhagavan says, the moment I thought your name, the whole spiritual treasure house was opened. You pulled me, means what? The spiritual life started happening. Just that nama, Arunachalam. Actually, this is Mahavakya. This is Mahavakya Upadesha. Somebody utters something which resonates within, which makes you recognize the incessant eternal vibration. So for that, either it can come from within you, very rarely it comes from within, or it comes from without. One question for which somebody asked Bhagavan, that when we ask, you are answering questions. Bhagavan said, the source from where the question arises, from the same source the answer also comes, only the body is different. So, the mantra upadesha is also like that. It comes from an outer guru, but actually it comes from within you. It is a name of the unnameable that is within you. And you recognize that, you feel that within you. And when you have that feeling, you have already entered the inner current. Now, you need not do much. The current will pull you. The source will pull you to the heart, to the plane of experience. So, that is Ālambana Upasana. But generally, that much ripeness will not be there. So, some Siddha mantra Upadesha is taken and you have to struggle. You put on that mantra inside and wait and wait and wait. Like in villages, these people who go for fishing, they will wait after putting the bait. Without movement, still waiting. And when the fish bites the bait, there will be a small stir. Then they will pull it out. In Bhagavan's case, he put the bait of Arunachalam and was waiting for a fish. But what came was a shark. It swallowed the bait and the person who was waiting with it. Everything went away, disappeared. Tachapi chitta badisham shanakair vyunkte. Bhagavata says badisham means bait. The bait that the yogi puts in the form of the mind is being swallowed by the huge force, power. It just swallows the bait. And the person also, the individuality also. Everything is gone. Only that bhuma, that infinite, it remains. So this is Ālambana Upasana. You hold on to some ashraya and do upasana. Or you directly go to the I thought. You need not take any ālamba from outside. The thing that you need to hold is within you, throbbing within you every moment as I. So you probe within. Inwardly you look at that spandana. When you are affected, when you are happy, when you are sad, when somebody insults you, when someone praises you, all that time you will feel this throb within. And that throb you inwardly hold. Oh, it happened to me, it happened to me. I want to get this, I want to get that. He insulted me. He is praising me, I am happy. And who is this I, this spandana, this throb? Thus holding within, you dive deep. You take a dive into the depth of your own soul, not outside. Aipatatyaham nijavicharanam patedahanta paribugna shirsha. The ahankara merges back in the source, and there one finds the supreme reality. That which is infinite, that which is bodiless, that which is mindless, that which is egoless, that which is not made of matter, that which is not this world, that which is eternal, pure intelligence. So that is Brahma, that is Atma, that is Brahman, that is Bhagavan, that is Nirvana. Everything is same. People call it by various names, that's all. Yam Vaidika mantra drishaf purana Indram yamam matarishvanamahu. Apparena Vedantino yam. What? This is an RSS song generally. Yam Vaidika mantra drishaf purana Indram yamam matarishvanamahu Vedantino yam anirvachaniyam ekam yad brahma shabdena vinirdishanti. Whatever name you may call, it is all that one deva, that one vastu. You can call it by any name. No name also is okay. You can say that. Enough. That. So here, somehow, unless the mind becomes quietened, the very nature of the self is samadhi. There is lot of discussion whether that state called samadhi is needed. See, this is a state. This ignorance is a state. This Jagrat Swapana is a state. So when true knowledge comes, when the person becomes absolutely aware, when true knowledge comes, mind naturally becomes quiet. You see the foolishness of unnecessary thinking. You need not use any method or technique to quieten the mind. Even the jiva bhava, the ego, you know that it is not real. When the unreality is seen, the mind naturally becomes no mind. The primal I thought is the source of all other concepts. Jivam kalpayate purvam tato bhavan pratag vithan. first kalpana, superimposition is this I. Every day deep sleep, this I thought disappears and you sleep. And the first thing to come out is this I thought. Then everything else comes. So, and you do sadhana, you achieve, attain this, that. But in sleep, this I thought goes, your sadhana also goes. No sadhana you can take there. The next morning, this I thought arises. After that, you remember to do sadhana. So, this sadhaka himself is not real. And that source where the sadhaka merges, what exists there, that is Brahma, that is the self, that is the truth. These are the words of Gaudapada Acharya. Sankaracharya says, our Parama Guru, the very first sprout in the pure self is the I thought, the Jiva. The series of thoughts such as I am doing, my joy, my sorrow, and so on come up after the ego rises as a separate individual in the pure self, like the snake in a rope. Prana, subsequent to this first thought, manifold images like the mind, the intellect, prana, body, the senses, and the world seem to appear in the pure Atman. See, in dream, the body arises. In the dream, body has some problem. And someone comes in the dream and tells you that is unreal, you will not believe. But when you wake up, the person who gave you the teaching also disappears, your body also disappears. So, each jiva has its own peculiar instinctive and emotional body, which is its bhava sharira. It is according to this illusory seed body, avidyamaya sharira, that all memories and concepts ensue. This bhava sharira, upasanamaya sharira. Actually, vidyamaya sharira is also true because it is upasanamaya sharira. Vidya also means upasana. It's upasanamaya sharira. So when you meditate on Shiva or Vishnu, everything is in this mind. All these have their base in the primal self-imagined jiva. Why does the individual jiva kalpana arise? This disciple is asking Sankaracharya, why does the jiva kalpana arise? Bhagavad says, due to lack of right knowledge. A rope is easily mistaken for a snake when it is not known to be a rope. Similarly, the infinite self is misapprehended as a small, limited individual I when one is not aware of one's true nature. When one deeply inquires what this I is, the I along with the attributes like prana, mind, intellect, karma, life and so on, merges into the pure conscious non-dual existence. Just as the snake vanishes into the rope in bright light. Ityesha sarvopanishadam siddhantaha. This is Mandukya Karika Bhashya. Sankaracharya says, this is the Siddhanta of all the Upanishads. Then the disciple asks, will one be free of samsara by such an inquiry? The question of release arises only if samsara does exist. Never was there any snake in the rope. In the same way, samsara was not there in the Atman at any time. Sarva samsara dharma shunya pratipataka shastra janita vijnana suryaloka kritatma vinishchayaha atmaivedam sarvam iti. The entire essence of the teaching is atmaivedam sarvam. This is the conclusion. Bhagavad says this is all divine. This is all self. Whatever you see, it is all the same Atma, the same Atman. This knowledge, Bhagavad says, it is like the brilliant sunlight of self-knowledge. By that you see that everything is Atma. See, when you have that knowledge, see, in some temples there will be Darpana Mandapam. Everywhere there will be mirror. above, below, side, everywhere. In one temple, Darpana Mandapam, one dog entered. The door was closed. And the dog saw 50, 60 dogs in front. Of course, what will a dog do? It barked. And those dogs also barked. This dog wanted to go back. This side also it found 50 dogs. Everywhere, wherever he looked, everywhere there were enemies. And the dog thought, what a world this is. Nobody is friendly. Everyone is barking at me. See, this is how we are, no? Why the dogs are barking? Because you are barking. So, after that, the dog was driven out, and a person very well dressed came inside. He looked in every side, or generally they will keep the deity inside. So when the Devata is kept inside, everywhere that God is seen. First came dog, now came God. So everywhere there is God. This side, that side. So it's a symbolic thing, this Darpana Mandapa. So this Mandapa, this room made with mirror. So for a jnani, it is like seeing everywhere, seeing his own self. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhut vijanataha. For with the power of knowledge, every creature, everyone appears to him as his own self. Tatra ko mohaha, no more delusion. Kashokaha, no more sorrow, grief. Ekatvam anupashyataha, he is seeing that non-dual essence, that oneness. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani eva anupashyate sarva bhuteshu cha atmanam tatona vichugupsate. He beholds the same self in everyone, and he beholds everyone in his own real nature. Then no hatred. One meaning is no hatred. Another meaning is he no more tries to protect himself from anyone, because all are me. Why should I try to protect myself from you? When I see you as my own self, there is no danger from anyone for me, because all are me, all are my own reflection. So this is actually true love. Only then we know what is love. Only then you know true love. Otherwise, in the name of love, you will destroy yourself. It is very limited. Love without true knowledge sometimes is more dangerous than ignorance. It will create all trouble. So when you see everyone as Atma, your own real nature, your own self, you become free, absolutely free. With open eyes, you are in nirvana, samadhi. You need not meditate. You need not close your eyes. The entire existence, vast existence before you, Kham, Vayum, Agnim, Salilam, Mahimcha, Jyotimshi, Satvani, Disho, Drumadin, Sarit, Samudramsha, Hare Shariram, Yatkinja Bhutam Pranamed Ananyaha. As Bhagavata puts it, the sky, the wind, fire, water, earth, and in earth also the trees, the plants, the rivers, the ocean, and whatever you behold it as divine, as the body of the Lord, as Ishvara himself. And how can you worship it? You can worship it by Ananya Bhava, by the knowledge that I am not different from that. The knower and the known are one. That Ananya Bhava, this is Ananya Bhakti. Anya Bhava is not there. That state, in that state, the person is absolutely free of suffering, samsara, ignorance. So this knowledge is Atmaiva idam sarvam yadayam atma. You need not study the entire Upanishad. One or two sayings like this, they are enough. Everyone, no one is separate from you. Nobody is an enemy for you. You have to learn this secret that in the worst person also the divine is hidden. And the secret of that, perhaps that person might not change, but that person cannot harm you. Bhagavata, you can see this in Prahlada Charitra. That little boy, very calm, the father is shivering with anger, fury, because his son is spiritual. This is the problem. See, many fathers are there who have this Hiranyakashipu virus inside them. Hiranyakashipu virus is there in many fathers and many mothers. They say, my son, my daughter, very, very, always sitting in alone, doing japa, dhyana. So what? What is the problem? They are doing something good. Yes, I understand that. But irundalum. Now you go and look in the mirror, you will see Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu virus. And vaccination for that you have to take from the Upanishad, Satsang, everywhere. And this vaccination will not have any side effects. So you have to take it. No, recognize this. That see, and this boy is very calm. The father is trying to harm his own son, and that boy is very, very calm. And this calmness of the boy disturbs the father more. He becomes powerless. He becomes frail, weak. Are, Hiranyakashipu is asking Prahlada, what is your secret? Why I am not able to harm you? Because, my dear father, I look at you as Narayana. When I look at you as Bhagavan, Bhagavan inside you wakes up. So for the time being, you become powerless as Hiranyakashipu. This is called Anvikshiki Vidya. Bhagavata says Prahlada was an expert in that. Anvikshiki Malarkaya Prahladadibhya Uchivan. Dattatreya gave this knowledge to Prahlada. Try this. Somebody is trying to fight with you. There was one priest about 50 years or 60 years back. I think he's from Karnataka. His disciples about 20 years back, some of them were very old. They only told this story. Now they don't exist. Nobody is alive now. So their teacher, his wife was mad. And sometimes she will become violent. And he will teach this way the students. He himself will teach them, very calm person. Teach them, and he will cook for them. The children will help. And these children, they used to say, whenever that lady becomes, sometimes she will get affected and violent, we will go and shut ourselves inside a room, afraid. So one day, she was so violent, she became so violent, took a big knife very big knife. We call it as Koduval, Aruval. என்ன சொல்கிறது அதுக்கு? Yes, whatever. It's big, something like a sword. So she brought it and she was screaming. And these children, these students, they went behind a bamboo mat. And they were hiding behind it and looking through the holes. What is happening? And this lady was screaming, was totally out. And this old man, he was of course not very old at that time, he with so much bhava looking at her as Divine Mother, not in this sattvic form as Kali, and started chanting Aigiri Nandini Nandita Medini Vishwa Vinodini Nandanute Girivara Vindhya Shirodhini Vasini Vishnu Vilasini Jishnunute Bhagavati He Shitikantha Kutumbini Gauri Kutumbini. This, he chanted the verse Mahishasura Mardini Stava. In front of her, she threw the knife and she became very calm and went away. He had that power. These children used to say, even in the presence of our teacher, we could not become mischievous. He was so calm, and we have seen this power with him even when his wife totally loses her balance. Then also he will be very calm. It is not very easy. It's a vibhuti actually. Anyone can try this. I don't know whether we will become successful or not. So this is Anvikshiki Vidya. Prahlada had this power, they say. This is Anvikshanam. Again and again looking at the divine. Whatever may be the other person or other creature, object, whatever may be, looking at it as divine. You are free. The labha is for you. Great benefit is for you. Inwardly, you become free of all evil, all negativities. Sarvopadravanasha. That is what Bhagavata says. You are no more hurt by any ill feeling, negative feeling, looking at everything as divine. So, this is Atmaivedam Sarvam iti Vijnana Suryalokaha. This is the knowledge, the brilliant sunlight. Like that is this knowledge. So, the conviction of the self born of the brilliant sunlight of self-knowledge from the Shastra reveals the absolute absence of all the characteristics of samsara in the self. Bhagavan was that. That is why he said, where is samsara? Devotees, they used to go to Bhagavan and say, Bhagavan, our mind is very fickle, uncontrollable. Bhagavan said, bring your mind. Where is your mind? In his presence you won't feel it. Kanakamma used to say, when Bhagavan was there, somebody asked Bhagavan, Kanakamma, have you spoken ever to Bhagavan? She said, how to speak? You enter the ashram, first your body falls. Then further you go, the mind also goes away. And in front of Bhagavan, you are not there. It is not because of any magic. It is the magic of this Atmajnana, the power of self, by which you become an ajata shatru, no enemy for you, no person for you, no ignorance for you. Vaisharadyam tu vainasti bhede vicharatam sada. As Mandukya Karika says, Vaisharadya Jnana, Visharada Jnana, Vaisharadya Kshaya, Asangashitaya, Chinna Samshaya. As Bhagavata puts it, that Vaisharadya Kshanam, that pure look, looking at everyone as pure, everyone as whole, everyone as Atma, everyone as the eternally free being. That kind of look makes the seer free. If the other person is also receptive, he will also get initiated into this Vidya. Sometimes see, someone looks at you with respect, then itself you feel it. With love you feel it. Even a dog feels it. You look at a dog with love, the dog comes to you. So your feeling is made to, it is affecting the other. So if you can feel everyone as God, as Brahma, as asamsari Atma Tattva, no samsara, no dukkha, no bandha, no bondage. You are convinced of this from the Shruti and you are able to look at everyone as Nitya Mukta. Then that Mukti becomes your treasure. You own it. So when this answer was given, how did the innumerable misconceptions such as the prana appear in the Atman? See. Here the question is, the questioner asks, even the prana is a misconception. Because, you can say raga, dvesha, attachment. No. He says even prana. Prana iti pranavidaha, mana iti manovidaha. Bandukya Karika goes on saying, some people say it is prana, some people say it is mind, some people say it is intellect. Mayesha tasya devasya yayam mohita swayam. As Sankaracharya says, that Atma Deva is a great magician. He makes himself felt by others in various forms, manifold forms. This is the glory of Ishvara's Maya. He himself playfully deludes himself. Do we not ourselves enact and watch plays that have no real existence in the waking state and see dreams during sleep? There is no point in asking why we enjoy them. Yam bhavam darshayedyasya tam bhavam satupashyati. Whatever is being revealed to him, that he sees. Each one beholds the plane of consciousness that the inner Lord unfolds to him. That is all. The omnipotent indweller reveals all these, the pranas, bhutas, the three gunas, tattva, loka, deva, veda, the enjoyer, the doer, the gross, the subtle, objects with form, objects without form, time, direction, arguments, mind, intellect, memory, righteousness, unrighteousness, the 24 or 26 tattvas, creation, dissolution, sustenance, destiny, vitality, and so on, variously to each one. It's very profound, actually, you have to say. Whatever is active in you, for the time being, you believe that. They see these respective principles and holding on to them remain as believers and proponents and sometimes fanatics of those views. That is all. That is the truth. Lokavattu leela kaivalyam. Whatever appears as the world, as samsara, as worldly life, is the delightful sport of nirvana, says Vyasa Sutra. Fourth and over. Actually, na nirodho na cha utpattihi na baddho na cha sadhagaha na mumukshur na vai muktaha ityesha paramarthata. As Gaudapada said, he says, this is the ultimate. Bhagavan also many places quotes this shloka. Actually, one Atma alone exists, Nitya Mukta Swarupa, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa. In it, there is no creation or sustenance or destruction or striver or attainment. or liberation. This is the truth. One non-dual self alone is sarvoyam laukiko vaidikasya vyavaharaha avidya vishaye eva. Brahmaivedam sarvam idam sarvam yadayam atma ekameva advitiyam. These are all Mahavakyas actually. That one non-dual essence is there. Mahavakya is not simply only people has this misconception. They think only 4 Mahavakyas are there. No, wherever Jiva Brahmaikya is revealed is a Mahavakya. These are the proclamations of the Shruti. Duality is entirely absent in Samadhi or deep sleep. Therefore, it is certain that duality arises only when the mind arises. So, this is the knowledge of the self revealed by Bhagavad Pada. I know now no story part is there. It's all teaching. All these days we have heard the stories. Now we have almost come to the last portion. Sankaracharya's Upadesha alone we are dealing now. He is very near Kedarnath, and next travel is to Kedarnath, and there Atmatirtha ends. We are not speaking about Shankaracharya's what happened to Shankaracharya, because many controversies are there. So he disappeared in Kedar, they say. He had his Mahasamadhi had in Kanchi, there is an argument. In Kerala also there is an argument. Many things are there. So that is very beautiful, because a Jivan Mukta lives such a marvelous life, and his very life becomes a legend. No idea what happened to him. It just disappeared. So that has its own beauty. So, the purpose of this story of Shankaracharya that we have been dealing is just to meditate on a Mukta Purusha, a liberated being. We have a form of Shankaracharya inside us, a bhava. Along with that, a feeling of a divine being. And that itself is a samadhi. That itself is a deep spiritual experience, which is profoundly purifying, thoroughly cleansing. See, for almost how many days? 35? What? 37 days. Almost we are reaching a mandala kala. 40 days. So many days meditating on that story, meditating on that bhava. It is greatly, immensely purifying. So we will have few more days. Not much, right? It's already 37 maximum. 3 days we can have one mandala. So this is and this is more about teaching now. See, sometimes when you see a Mahapurusha in story, it is more deeply touching than physical appearance. That is what we generally say when we read Bhagavatam. Constantly reminding that what you are reading is divine, sacred, holy. And listening to the stories of devotees. listening to the stories of Bhagavan, the person has a great elevation inwardly. Sometimes it will not happen even if you were there directly, because Duryodhana saw Krishna directly. Krishna even revealed his cosmic form to Duryodhana in the court. Duryodhana said, I also know magic. He was not affected by that. So, more than outer vision, bhava is important. That inner bhakti is important. So for that only we have taken this mystical process. We call it as vibhuti, katha vibhuti. A kind of meditative current, a meditation in the form of story and teaching, story and teaching. We will continue it tomorrow. Samsaradhvanitapabhanu kirana prodbhutadaha vyatha khinnanam jalakam chaya marubhuvi bhrantya paribhramyatam atyasanna sudham buddhim sukagaram brahmadvayam darshayanti esha shankara bharati vichayate Nirvana Sandayini.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva,
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.